Have you ever sat in a room with 12 leaders and somehow walked out with 30 opinions in one brand strategy? And just when you thought you had alignment, someone higher up had a thought. And the brief changed mid-meeting. Sounds familiar? You're not alone. For those who are familiar with Adobe, in 2013, they dropped this box Creative Suite to went full subscription with Creative Cloud. To the world, it looked like pricing shift. Internally, it was a stakeholder minefield. You know, the CFO wanted predictable revenue, CMO needed to manage backlash, UX needed to rethink delivery, legal flagged compliance issue. Users were furious. But Adobe didn't just launch a product, they aligned a narrative. From buy our tools to subscribe to creativity, from static software to an evolving ecosystem. That only worked because they managed their internal voices as tightly as they managed their external messaging. So how do we apply this in our own ecosystem, across C-suites, regional leads, global teams? There's this stakeholder metrics I've learned to map the maze. First, you group your stakeholders based on two variables, influence and interest.
So the ones with high influence and high interest, you engage with them closely, involve them in decisions.
The ones with high influence and low interest, you just keep them satisfied.
You just update them regularly. The ones with low influence and high interest, you keep them informed, but don't over-involve. The ones with low influence and low interest, just monitor quietly, don't over-communicate.
Not everyone deserves a seat at every table, okay? These metrics will help to focus your time where it matters most. Many branding projects fail not because of bad ideas, but it's the unclear roles and hidden votes. So, you need to define roles using
RACI. To eliminate ambiguity, you just have to clarify who is responsible, does the work. Who is accountable, makes the call. Who is consulted, give input. Who is informed, keeps up to date.
I also learned that we need to centralize all the narratives. So we stop scattered updates, just one source of truth. So you can have
like a shared comm hub or like weekly digest, monthly pulse report.
Or like live dashboards. This isn't just project hygiene, it's a brand protection. Also, there's this thing called tier decision making. Not every decision needs entire leadership team. So you structure your decision into tiers, right? Operational, managed by project teams. Tactical staff, reviewed by regional functional leads. Strategic staff, escalate to C-suite when impact crosses threshold.
These can preserve speed and protect seniors' bandwidth.
And to the ones handling regional and global teams, trying to align across time zone is probably one of the hardest.
We try to avoid more than 10 people call.
I know it's hard, but we can try to use forms for input. We can do slides with comment threads, assign tasks with deadlines in Trello, Angsana, or even Jira. You don't need more meetings. You need structured input on time. I think the hardest part is probably having everyone to commit the same amount of attention and effort. For upper management kind of role, right, I know that they don't have time to read Trello, Jira, or probably Angsana. They don't have time to read comments and probably go into your text kind of stuff. Maybe email works, but I think most of the decisions are made in elevator, dinner table, probably lunch catch-up, or probably just one more thing kind of call. Verbal alignment feels efficient at that point until it isn't, because it creates what we call a whisper network of approvals. No documentation, no audit trails, just vague recollections and moving goalposts. We know we cannot force everyone into our own workflow, right? But we can build a system that captures verbal input without losing structure. So how do we do it? First, after every sync, right, you summarize into writing. Right, as discussed, here's what we align. Unless I hear otherwise, I'll proceed. You can centralize all inputs into one master tracker, like Google Sheet, Notion, Dashboard, give everyone a North Star. Then you can push final versions to stakeholders, not drafts. Minimize noise, show decisions, not discussions. Treat undocumented feedbacks as noise, not instruction. If it's not in the system, it's not in the scope. Remember, you're building bridges between a tactical layer that tracks and also an executive layer that decides.
Most importantly, you control the room before the room controls the message.
Disagreements are inevitable. Handle them like strategies. Escalate only when budget, scope, or risk thresholds are crossed.
So, you can say, to hit timeline, we'll need to reduce scope or increase budget. Which lever are you willing to pull?
Don't say he say, she say argument.
Bring data, trade-offs, consequences.
Lead with structure, not defensiveness.
At some point, you freeze the brief. Say it with confidence.
To move forward, we'll need to freeze input by Friday. Further changes will go into the next cycle.
Otherwise, you're not building a brand. You're chasing approvals.
Stakeholders aren't enemies.
Unmanaged stakeholders are. Because best brand builds alignments before they launch.